Good evening. Welcome to the regular Township Council meeting of January 24th, 2023. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Law by filing a notice in the office of the Township Clerk and by posting the meeting notice on the bulletin board at the municipal building on December 21st, 2022, where it has remained posted since that date. A legal notice appeared in the Daily Record and the Newark Star Ledger on December 28th, 2022. Council meetings are videotaped and aired on Public Access Channel 21 at 7 p.m. Sundays and Wednesdays, and are also available for viewing at www.parsippany.net. Would you all join me in the flag salute? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Karifi.
Here.
Ms. Grignani.
Here.
Mr. Musella.
Here.
Mr. Neglia.
Here.
Mr. DePiero.
Here.
Okay, also in attendance are Mayor Jamie Barbario, our new BA, welcome, James Cryan. We have the Township Attorney Wade Baldwin and the Municipal Clerk Colette Madden, Council President. We have a quorum, you may begin.
Thank you. Upcoming meetings, February 7th, 2023 at 7 p.m., our agenda meeting, and February 21st, 2023 at 7 p.m., our regular meeting.
Approval of minutes, agenda meeting 12/6/22, regular meeting 12/20/22. Motion to approve the minutes above by myself.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Ms. Grignani. Roll call, Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Ms. Grignani.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. DePiero.
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you. Mayor, you're up.
Well, the family's not here right now. I was gonna do a proclamation, so I'll have to wait until they get here.
Wait until I get here, we'll go
Yeah.
back to it. Okay, then, Township Council. Any reports from Township Council members? Okay, then, I do. I was trying to summarize 40 years on one page. I was not successful. Making a difference is what public service is all about. For the past 57 years that I've lived in Parsippany, a significant portion of my life has been dedicated to serving my community. My efforts have always been to protect and improve our quality of life at the lowest possible cost. I moved to Parsippany in 1965 when I accepted a job offer from Bell Telephone Laboratories. My wife Dee and I raised our 3 children here. Our 10 grandchildren, although not living in Parsippany, still have roots here because of my involvement. I have been involved with PTAs, boosters, soccer, little leagues, civic organizations, St. Anne Church, Boy Scouts, American Legion, Veterans of Foreign Wars, Rotary, Sons of Italy, Craftsman Farms, and many, many more. I served 6 years on the Parsippany School Board, and this term I'm completing my 40th year on the Township Council. Serving Parsippany has been a labor of love for me. I am the only elected official in Parsippany to be inducted into the New Jersey State League of Municipalities Elected Officials Hall of Fame. My involvement in Parsippany's open space spans 52 years, 1970 to 2022. As a leader in COCAP, as a school board member, as a councilman, as a planning board member, and as a member of the Open Space Committee, I initiated, saving property, or aggressively supported the purchase or development of 11 significant tracts totaling 557 acres in Parsippany. 1970, the Knoll Country Club, 352 acres, with COCAP. COCAP is a combined organizations concerned about Parsippany. we formed a group from all of the civic leaders and all the communities throughout Parsippany. We met mostly at my house, and we were trying to convince the town not to change the zoning and now allow the bulldozers to tear up the Knoll Country Club and build high-rises. We were successful. When we won that battle, we convinced, Henry Luther was our former mayor and was also Governor Burns' campaign manager. We went to Henry Luther and said, Governor Burns was pushing for the first New Jersey State Green Acres bond at that time, and we said we would support the bond effort throughout Morris County if Byrne promised that the Knoll would be one of his first projects. That agreement was made. We purchased the Knoll, 350 acres for $5.5 million, and Green Acres paid $2.8 million of that. What a deal. 1977 to 1982, Volunteers Park, 28 acres, with the school board and Mayor Priori. When I was on the school board in the 70s, we had an 11-day teacher strike, and the school board wanted to sell what is now Volunteers Park to settle the teacher strike. And I objected to that, and I convinced them that that's the last piece of land that the school board owns. You sell it now, and you will never, ever have property in Parsippany again. If the school board ever needs property, you made an irreversible decision. So they didn't sell it. They said, what are we going to do with it? I said, why don't we lease it to the town, $1 a year for 20 years, provided they promised to make a park. Well, Jack Fahey was the mayor. He was not interested. So a couple of years later, when I was running for council and Frank Perry was running for mayor, I suggested that to Frank, that we make a park. It's a very densely populated area in Parsippany, all of Lake Parsippany. And he said, that's a good idea. First, we'll solve the flooding problem in Lower Lake Hiawatha, and then we'll build a park. And we did. One of my last moves on the council was to make a motion to lease the property to the township. 3 months later, I was sworn into office as a councilman, and I made a motion to accept the lease from the school board. So when I say Volunteers Park is mine, I really mean it. Grassman Farms, 1989, 30 acres, with Mayor Priori and many others. Again, the bulldozers were going to knock down all of that property, all the Stickley buildings, and build townhouses. This was before municipalities were allowed to have open space trust funds. The state could have one, the counties could have one, but not municipalities. So we were going to condemn property and take it away. We really didn't have any real way to raise the funds at the time. But we were successful in delaying the developer, and we did a referendum, and we asked the residents of Parsippany if they want to dedicate a part of their taxes to open space and historic preservation, and they voted yes. So we saved Grassman Farms. I've been on the advisory board and a trustee ever since. Birch Lane, 25 acres. That was with the planning board. Birch Lane is off of Fox Hill Road in Rainbow Lakes. It's 25 acres. Birch Lane is a short dead-end street, and at the other end of that dead-end street is Denville. Denville approved affordable housing to be built on their property, but the only way that property would have access to a road was Fox Hill Road, not into Denville, into Parsippany, because of the terrain. We objected to that, we fought that, and blocked it successfully. And eventually we bought that property from Denville. Veterans Memorial Park, 17 acres. That was with Mayor Letts. That was an old trailer park many years ago. And there was a proposal to to have a big box store there, and we didn't want that, and at that location, or the traffic at that location, so we kind of blocked that, and, we negotiated with Mrs. Dockrell, for the township to buy that property. Development of Jannerone Park, 63 acres. Joe Jannerone Senior, that was his dream, his development. And I supported the funding for that and then the project itself, at whatever he needed. And it's a beautiful park today, something to be really proud of. Cameron Dog Park on 10 acres with Mayor Letts on South Bevick Road, up behind the Cameron House. Park is well utilized, and I never thought I'd be pushing for a dog park, but it's very useful. Parsippany Roller Hockey Park, 10 acres with parents groups, to build a roller hockey rink, which eventually could be frozen over in the winter and become an ice skating rink. We never got that far, but it has the ability to do that. And then 2 field fair properties, this is up on Knoll Road, 6 acres and 5 acres. The township bought that. That was working with the Open Space Committee. The Pruzio property, 5.77 acres with Open Space Committee. And now finally, after 30 years, we're still about to buy the Cosset property, which will, when you combine all of these and a township parcel, will be a total of 30 acres on Knoll Road. Money Magazine and other publications have consistently named Parsippany as the #1 small city to live in New Jersey and number 17 in the nation. We got those accolades a number of times. Most of the categories that they evaluated are the quality of life standards that I have supported, i.e. open space, recreation, quality of our education system and libraries, township services, township infrastructure, etc. Those were all the things that I was always supporting anyway, and those are all the items that were used to evaluate towns. I like to feel that I have been a part of the collective wisdom that made Parsippany a great place to live and work. I continue to be humbled by the friendships and support after so many years. I have highlighted some of my involvement, but I would be remiss if I did not thank my wife Dee, my best friend, and the wind beneath my wings, who was right beside me, supporting everything that I did. It is now time to let go. I will not be running for re-election. Thank you. Thank you. Township Attorney, anything?
No report.
Business Administrator?
Thank you, Council President. I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank the council and thank Mayor for your faith in me. I was sworn in at the last meeting, but I didn't get the chance to publicly thank you. I do appreciate your faith, and I will do my best in the position.
What's your name? Good name.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard.
Good luck.
Council President, the family's here.
Okay,
Okay.
back to the mayor's presentation.
And Council President, thank you so much for all the years of service to Parsippany-Troy Hills. I've known you for many years, and you've been dedicated and loyal to the community of Parsippany. And I know that the community of Parsippany is in your heart and will remain in your heart. That's why you deserve to have a golf range named after you. When I was the mayor prior, I knew how much that meant to you. And, we will, continue to be friends. So, thank you.
Thank you.
No, I can't go that way, it's black. Nick, come up. It's karaoke time. Well, Nick's, Eastern Janitorial got Family Business of the Year, and I congratulate you on that. I'm gonna read a proclamation in. Before I read the proclamation, I've known Nick for many years, and, when I was the business administrator at Tewksbury Township, we had a major, issue in the town, actually during COVID, and we couldn't get anybody to come and, perform the duties of cleaning an area. I called Nick up, and he was there right away. And, thank you, Nick. I'm sure Tewksbury Township appreciated it. I know they did, so, and the chief did as well, so. So I'm gonna read this proclamation. The Township of Parsippany-Troy Hills proclamation, whereas Eastern Janitorial Company, based in Parsippany, was founded in 1977, and is a second-generation family-owned business specializing in commercial facility services for businesses in New Jersey and the tri-state area. And whereas Eastern Janitorial Company operates in three main divisions: commercial facilities, cleaning and supplies, specialty flooring and surface restoration, and engineering handyman services. And whereas Eastern Janitorial Company was chosen as Family Business of the Year by the Rothman Institute of Innovation and Entrepreneurship at Fairleigh Dickinson University, based on its commitment to support its employees and the community, as well as their adherence to the sustainable growth. And whereas Eastern Janitorial Company CEO Nick Raffanello is a Parsippany resident who attributes their success to the loyalty and dedication of his family and family-like staff who are available to their customers 24/7. Now therefore, I, James R. Barbario, the mayor of the Township of Parsippany-Troy Hills, do hereby proclaim January 24th, 2023 as Eastern Janitorial Company Day, and commend Nick Raffanello and his staff for providing the customers with unparalleled service and commitment. Dated this 24th day of January 2022. Here you go, Nick.
3022.
Consent agenda.
Consent agenda, I want you to do.
So I know, Frank, you're gonna take over from here?
You ready? Come on down. Come on. Well, all economic development come forward. I'll start by saying I did prepare a speech, but Jamie stole it, almost word for word. So you don't have to listen to me on that part. But anyway, the Parsippany-Troy Hills Economic Development Committee congratulates Eastern Janitorial on being named Family Business of the Year 2022, and that's Pride in Parsippany, Tuesday, January 24th, 2023. And that's presented by the Economic Development Committee, which sees all the members. And that's Council Diego.
Thank you so much.
Now, we need a picture. You can come over closer.
Let me go on the other side, make it not one thing.
Not done yet. Next block.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. So, I had the honor of publishing the story in ParsippanyFocus.com and Parsippany Focus magazine, and this is a reprint of the article from Parsippany Focus magazine. Ann Grassi, you want to come up? Yeah. You can sit.
Hi, ma'am. I'm the Morris County Clerk. Okay. I just want to say that I really don't know Nick or his family, but I can tell you that I understand the trials and tribulations as a small business owner that you go through. I know you have many sleepless nights because you're always worried about, is everyone going to pay for the services? How many more clients do I need to, harvest? And will they be there? Because I still have to pay my mortgage and my taxes, and my kids want to go to school. And I I know this because my family has always been in a small business as well. My aunts, my uncles, and I had my own law practice at one time, so I know what you go through to do this. So I'm so proud to be able to give you this proclamation. I would read it, except that I think we all read the same article. So it says exactly the same thing as what Jamie said. But I'd like to present this to you from my office. And you know what? Small business is the backbone of our town and our community, and you've done a wonderful job. So congratulations on being recognized. Picture?
Come on, Jamie.
Jamie, come on. Thank you, well deserved.
Thank you
Really.
so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're not done yet.
Nope, I'm not done yet? Oh, okay.
No.
Okay,
The
thanks.
last thing they stuck on our agenda.
Assemblyman Brian Bergen.
All right, Nick, you got a lot of these, man. So, and this is the second generation, you're the second generation. How many employees do you have? 250. So I happen to be a small business owner myself, and what's cool about small business, number one, it's difficult to be the second generation guy. I know that firsthand, actually. But also, that's 250 people whose mortgages are paid by you, whose kids go to school because of the jobs that you provide. And I think sometimes we forget just how integral to everybody's life the small business is. So, you know, from one small business owner to another, you should be just tremendously proud of yourself, as I know that you are. And this is a joint resolution from the New Jersey State Assembly and the Senate. It's from Senator Panaccio, Assemblyman Weber, Bronco, and myself. And it's got the seals on here of both the Senate and the Assembly, and signed by the Senate President and the Speaker of the General Assembly. So congratulations, and keep up the great work.
Joe and Ian, see if I don't have on my agenda. Number 2, non-consent agenda.
Morris County Commissioners.
That's what Joe and Ian's here.
Thank you, Frank. We'll be joined by Morris County Commissioner Typhoon
If you have any
Salon, Morris County
questions
Commissioner
about
Tom
that,
Mastriangelo.
I can bring him.
First of all, I do want to start off by thanking Mike. I want to thank you for your years of service to Parsippany, to the citizens, such a great impact. And, we could have been here for another 2 hours listening to your accomplishments. And just such a wonderful commitment, and Dee, all your support over the years, you and your family. So God bless you.
Thank you.
God bless you going forward. So next, I'm here on behalf of the Morris County Board of Commissioners, these call freeholders. And we want to congratulate you on being recognized for this award by the Rothman Institute at Fairleigh Dickinson. It's quite an accomplishment. I hope you have a wall ready for all this recognition.
We're gonna change it first.
Excellent idea. And, just want to point out that the contribution that you make and your employees make, as the mayor talked about, during the crisis of COVID, you were there. You were there for the people, and we have these ceremonies, we thank people for what they do, and there's so much part of society that came together. And we're so proud of what you and your company were able to do doing that. And we like to say that Morris County is the best run county in New Jersey by far. So you picked a great location, and we're here in the best run town in New Jersey by far. So you've made excellent choices, and again, we congratulate you on your accomplishments. So thank you very much. Let's do the photo op.
You gotta go down. Wait. Can you move this? Good. Okay, one more from Commissioner Tom Mastrangelo.
Nick, congratulations, and I applaud you, because being in a small business is very difficult, and I understand it. I'm your neighbor right here in Parsippany. I'm at 2001 Waterview, I think you're right around the corner.
Yes, sir.
I run an IT consulting firm, physical security, and We have projects all over, and, you know, you're tri-state, and you've got projects all over, and, it's a lot of balls to balance and juggle all day long. And, it takes special people to really start a business, and then to endure and continue, especially with the freeholders that during COVID and during the trials and tribulations of economic times changing. And, you know, I think it's just a great accomplishment. And we have to continue as small business people to feed the small business economic engine, because we are the foundation for the success of Morris County, and frankly, for the success of this state. So, I applaud you again, I congratulate you, and this is a plaque from me as a small business person, as a Morris County Commissioner, that I'm presenting to you and your family and your business, and I thank you for everything you've done for us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you very much for all the recognition. I sincerely apologize. There was a scheduling mistake because the team's going to be heartbroken. They weren't here tonight. They were planning for Thursday night, but they were so excited when we won this. And to receive so many awards from so many folks, and I know how busy everybody is, and also to be on a special night like tonight, you know, I'm getting choked up, and it doesn't happen very often. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for recognizing us. We're proud to be in Parsippany. We bleed Parsippany just like the mayor does, and we're going to stay here for a very long time. So you can count on us. Thank you. And I'm going to have to paint the wall before I put all this stuff up there.
Get a permit first.
Okay, continuing on with the agenda. Township Clerk,
No report at this time, Council President, thank you.
okay. Township officers and committees, any reports?
Yeah, the only report I have is from the Environmental Advisory Committee. They're working hard on getting a farmer's market here and in conjunction with the mayor, so should have an update on that once the mayor finalizes that proposal.
Yeah, we should have that probably within a week or two. We're looking forward to it. So the farmer's market will start in, I think, May all the way to the last week in October.
Okay, thank you. And my report would be the Craftsman Farms. I'm one of the trustees there, and we're having a meeting tomorrow night. It's a Zoom meeting because members of, trustees of Craftsman Farms come from all over the country, and they were projecting snow, and people were afraid of coming here, so we're having a Zoom meeting tomorrow night. So all of the attendees that don't live in New Jersey can attend. I'll have a report on the results of that meeting at our next meeting. Engineering report?
2021 road resurfacing curb and sidewalk program. The annual road resurfacing curb and sidewalk project is on hold pending negotiations with the contractor. No council action required. Rockaway River flood wall levee inspection. Our consultant is working on preparing design details and that a cost estimate for the maintenance and repair work to the flood wall and levee. Recent site inspections were made to aid the design of the repairs. Once the designs and necessary permitting is complete, the project will be advertised for bid. No council action required. 2022 road resurfacing curb and sidewalk program. The 2022 road resurfacing curb and sidewalk project is complete. No council action required. North Beverick Road Streetscape Project Phase 1. The first phase of the North Beverick Road Streetscape Project is in design. We anticipate bidding this project over the winter. No council action required. Drumlin Drive stream cleaning. The NJDEP permits have been issued for this project. Our consultant is finishing the design, and we intend to bid the project over the winter. No council action required. Pudding Stone Heights Road Improvement Project Phase 2, the second phase of Pudding Stone Heights Road Improvement Project is in design. We anticipate bidding the project in the spring, no council action required. Jefferson Road Improvements, we received a $760,000 NJDOT grant for improvements to Jefferson Road from Parsippany Road to Smith Road. The improvements include the resurfacing of roadway, minor inspection upgrades, and significant drainage improvements, particularly near the East Halsey Road intersection. Plans are in design and the project will be bid once NJDEP permits have been issued. No council action required. Mount Tabor Street Improvements Phase 7, the Mount Tabor Street Improvements Phase 7 project is in design. We anticipate bidding this project over the winter, no council action required. Lake Intervale Area Street Improvements, the first phase of the Lake Intervale Area Street Improvement Project is in design. We anticipate bidding the project once funding is available. No council action required. Major soil moving permit, 3 Campus Drive, multifamily development, Block 202, Lot 3.12. The planning board has recommended approval of a major soil moving permit in conjunction with the site plan application for the proposed development located at 2 Campus Drive. This office has reviewed the application and recommends the Township Council approve the permit. We need the Township Council approve the permit by resolution. Roadway design projects, the following projects are in design or proposals have been requested. Troy Brook stream cleaning, Sylvan Way sidewalk improvements, river and stream desnagging plans and permits, Etten Road traffic study, Sylvan Way culvert improvements. No council action required.
Thank you. Bids taken, 11923, electrical upgrades to well numbers 12 and 13. Bids to be taken, 12523, Baldwin Road sanitary sewer modifications. Also 12523, 2022 or newer Ford F-550 regular cab 4x4 DRW4 Parsippany Water Department. And the third, 12623, well 21R replacement well and treatment facility improvements. I will now entertain a motion to open this hearing to the public.
Make a motion.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Karifi, seconded by Mr. Musella. Roll
Thank you.
call. Mr. Karifi?
Yes.
Ms. Grignani?
Yes.
Mr. Musella?
Yes.
Mr. Neglia?
Yes.
Mr. DePiero?
Yes.
Motion passes. Floor is open to the public on any matter. You have 5 minutes to speak.
Come up, sign in, state your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes.
Name like Mr. Angelo, let's take it.
Of course, the commissioners, we allow another 5 seconds.
Okay, I just, in 5 minutes, as you said, Mike, 5 minutes doesn't cover the years of service that you've dedicated to this town, and listening to you, I thought it was like 40 years, it's 52 years, was it?
Well, 46 as an elected official.
And then everything you did before that.
57 was all the time I've been involved, yes.
I mean, that is just amazing to me, and I say that from my heart, that anyone who puts that type of time into their town, to their community, to their state, and frankly, their country, because you're a vet too, you should be applauded over and over again. I thank you publicly, but when I see you on the street, and it's just between you and I, I'll thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak?
Oh, they're ready.
Okay. My name is Bob Venezia. I live at 102 Brooklawn Drive. For a lot of reasons, crime in large cities has skyrocketed in the past couple of years. Not a day goes by where you can't see a video clip on the internet of a random mugging, gang violence, random shootings, carjacking, crime on the subways, or the organized looting of stores somewhere in New York City or now throughout the country. But this rise in crime is not confined to just large cities. Although not publicized that much, it has spilled over into the suburbs. And as we have heard on this chamber floor, incidents of car theft, catalytic converter theft, and home break-ins have many Parsippany residents on edge. All of this has caused me to ask myself the question, what would I do if one of these situations happened to me? My first reaction was to check on the township website to see if there was some kind of presentation by law enforcement that explains what to do in each of these threatening situations. If there's something up there, I couldn't find it. So tonight, I'm asking you to tell me if such a presentation already exists on Parsippany's website, and if so, how to access it. If not, then I request that you commission our police department to create one. For each unique situation, the presentation should include recommended actions to be taken and also those that should be avoided. The end product should be made easily accessible on Parsippany's website, and I emphasize the term easily accessible because although there's a lot of information on the website, too often it's very difficult to find exactly what you're looking for. Thank you.
Thank you. I was gonna respond, but
Go ahead.
the police,
The police are the ones that,
civilian, well, the
There
police
have-
have a civilian training program.
yeah, and there was, on several incidences that took place in Parsippany, if you go to the police website, they give recommendations on what to do if your car's being broken into, what you need not to do, and stuff like that. So you need to go to Parsippany, parpolice.com. They'll have it on that, it'll be on the Facebook page. Huh?
Anything that could possibly happen to me, like if I'm in a Home Depot and a bunch of guys came in.
Right. Well, then I recommend you get on their Twitter feed, because they will post things on Twitter. They post things on Facebook, and they post things on the website. And what we're gonna start doing is sharing their posts onto our website and onto our Facebook page and our Twitter account. So, you know, there have been, because I know, only reason why I know that is because sometimes I review those posts. They ask me to review it to see what's gonna go out. Like, you know, we had car thefts, of course, simple things, don't leave your keys in the car. If you have a certain type of vehicle, like they have these new vehicles where if the side windows are in, that means your doors are locked. If they're out, they're unlocked. So, you know, so we warn the residents to have those type of vehicles, but we do have, from the Parsippany website. But if you're going to the township website, what we'll start doing is, sharing the police. Instead of being redundant, we'll just share their, posts and recommendations.
But they also have the police training program for civilians.
Yeah,
And they cover all the questions you asked are covered
And we
by
have a
the
citizen-
civilian training program.
Yeah, but they,
Actually, had been to that, I was at the very first one.
yeah, I was with you. I remember. I was with you.
Okay.
So,
They didn't answer those questions?
and we will start them up again, but we didn't, I would assume they weren't started up because of COVID. But, we're gonna make recommendations to have more community outreach. In fact, I'm planning on, when we have our budget hearings and, revamping the community, police and, outreach program to be more accessible, even a lot more accessible to the residents.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Typhon Salam, Morris County Commissioner. I live at 30 Woodmont Drive, Chatham Township. I too would like to echo Commissioner Mastrangelo's comments to your service, Mr. DePiero. Thank you so much for what you have done for Parsippany, for our county, for our state, and above all, for our country. Thank you so much, and God bless you, and God bless our country.
Thanks.
Nicholas Homiak, Oneida Avenue, Lake Hiawatha. I have an idea, I don't know what you think of it, Mayor, but I would like to see a police precinct in Lake Hiawatha itself. You have some buildings there, I don't know, eminent domain law, you could have police officers walking the beat or on bicycles. You know me with the concerns, and I got a response today from the housing department, and I don't understand why this particular concern went to the housing department. So, I noticed a cone on the sidewalk in front of 130 North Beverwick. Then I saw the cone in the street. The cone's broken into pieces. So I figured, oh, the construction guys will pick it up. 2 weeks. Today, I decided to take a walk down around the golf course, and I went down North Beverwick Ave, and I policed up the trash. And I made another complaint about the cone. I picked up the pieces of the cone, but left the cone there. Anyway, I get this email back. I picked up the little pieces. I thought I did. But anyway, then I hear, anyone who was concerned with how it looked could have picked it up. I'm supposed to pick up the cone too? I mean, like, I don't understand a reaction like that, and I don't understand why I went to the housing department of all things. Now, there is a piece of metal underneath it, a jagged piece of metal. So you mean to tell me nobody could whack that with a hammer or break it? So they put a broken cone. The cone apparently got run over, and it was in pieces, but I policed the pieces and all the rest of the belonging down North Beverwick today. I'd like to know, I mean, when she says something like this, anyone with concern? So when you look at the condition of these small businesses and that we have up and down North Beverwick, and you see the gutter and the sidewalk, I still don't understand why to this day we can't get them to have an element of clean community there. Chamber of Commerce and the municipal should have the power to do that. I don't understand why it's so impossible. You know, it seems like something that could be easily gotten with a little political pressure and a little pressure from the Chamber of Commerce. Because the conditions up there sometimes are just, you know, do you want to look like Patterson, New Jersey, and all these other places? Because, you know. And anyway, I have one more thing to ask you, the leaf blower. I sent you the different, you know, information concerning it, but consider we have no idling laws. They're probably not enforced. No smoking in parks. We have the Clean Air Act, and there's also something going around now, Global Warming Reduction Act. But yet, when you have the leaf blower, in 1 hour equals 20 hours of emissions, 1 year, 20 hours equals 1 year of auto emissions. It's just not healthy. And I would ask you, because it's your job, to ask the Environmental Committee if they would look into this simple request to support a resolution to support this legislation to convert over to the lithium power lawn tools. The blower, which disturbs the peace, pollutes the air, and it's causing all of these, it's called a butterfly effect. It's a cumulative effect, and it's just not good for the planet. For the
Nick,
first time,
seconds, Nick.
right, the first time in our history, we're emitting more carbon than nature has taken out, and it's because we're a loss of all the habitat and forests, jungles, and things like that. So I'm going to leave it again, unless do you still have the copies I gave you?
I probably do, but you can give it to Phil Ed.
All right, okay, thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak? I see no one come, oh, all right.
Hey, good evening, Mayor, Council. I actually came here for economic development, but just sitting there, I mean, I couldn't just sit there and not appreciate what you guys are doing, and especially Mr. President Del Piero. I mean, we really appreciate your service. I speak on behalf of the members, my family, my children, for everything you've done in the last 50-plus years. We really appreciate your service and sacrifice.
Thank
you and even your wife for putting up with you, but really appreciate it, and thank you for everything you guys do. Take care.
She deserves the accolades. Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak? Seeing no one come forward, I entertain a motion to close.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Mr. Karifi. Roll call, Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Grignani.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. DePiero.
Yes.
Floor is closed. Before we read the next ordinance, whoever assigned, I just want to make a correction for the record. There are two dates, January 24th, and the second date says February 21st. The second date is a typo. It should read February 7th, so whoever is reading that, please make sure that's reflected in the record. Thank you.
Ordinance 2023:01, an ordinance of the Township of Parsippany-Troy Hills, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, creating Chapter 430, zoning Article 63, OVL-8 Overlay District, and providing use and bulk standards for such overlay district. Be it resolved that the above ordinance be introduced, read by title, and passed on first reading at a meeting of the Township Council of the Township of Parsippany-Troy Hills held on January 24th, 2023, and that said ordinance be further considered for second reading and final passage at a meeting to be held on February the 7th at 7 p.m. 2023, prevailing time or as soon thereafter as the matter may be reached at the municipal building in the said township, at which time all persons interested shall be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance. Be it further resolved that the clerk be authorized and directed to advertise said ordinance with the notice of introduction thereof being published in the official newspaper according to law. Motion to approve the above resolution by myself.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Grignani, seconded by Mr. Neglia. Roll call, Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Ms. Grignani.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. DePiero.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Non-consent agenda, resolutions R 2023-031, authorizing Katina Cater's proposed improvements to the Knoll Country Club clubhouse. Motion to approve the resolution made by myself.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Musella, seconded by Mr. Karifi. Roll call, Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Ms. Grignani.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. DePiero.
Yes.
Motion passes.
R 2023-032, authorizing the Planning Board of the Township of Parsippany-Troy Hills to conduct a preliminary investigation of certain property within the township for potential redevelopment. Motion to approve the resolution above by myself.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Musella, seconded by...
Before we have a roll call, the council has not had an opportunity to review any background data on this resolution. Joe, would you come up and just give a highlight? This was put on last minute, and the council did not have an opportunity to get background information on it.
Thank you, Mr. Council President, and good evening, members of the council and Mayor Barbario. This resolution concerns Lanadex West, the office park down Parsippany Road. Lanadex West consists of one building and a very large parking lot, which has currently been vacant for over 3 years. The building is substandard, and the tenants are gone. So what we are asking for is we are asking that the property be referred to the planning board for a determination as to whether or not this property is suitable for redevelopment. As you've heard me say before to you, redevelopment is a great tool for the township. It's even better than zoning ordinance changes because it allows you to dictate the terms, it allows you to dictate the parameters that the property can be developed in the future. The bottom line on this property, when the process is over, my client is interested in turning this into a warehouse, a smaller warehouse. But first, we need the determination by the planning board that the property is suitable for redevelopment. They'll weigh the statutory standards, and then the process will begin for setting the redevelopment plan. So I'm hoping tonight that you'll start the process so we can get going with the planning board and get this all rolling. Thank you. Any questions I can answer?
Any questions?
No.
Okay, thank you.
very much.
Thank you, John.
Okay, so,
For the public's knowledge, this would go back to the planning board, and they would consider, the township's master plan, is a living document. It changes. Economics change, times change, and in the case of office parks and offices, they're not in the demand they used to be. So what we've been doing on some select properties is developing an overlay ordinance, so that other uses could be applied to that, not just the original use, which was an office park, but other uses. So we do an overlay ordinance, and that's what's being requested here, and the planning board will look at it and then make recommendations to the town. The town is the only one that can change ordinances, but the planning board gets to review it first. Now we need a vote.
all right, so we have already a motion made by Mr. Musella and a second by Ms. Grignani. Roll call. Mr. Karifi?
Yes.
Ms. Grignani?
Yes.
Mr. Musella?
Yes.
Mr. Neglia?
Yes.
Mr. DePiero?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Consent agenda. Be resolved, all items listed with an asterisk are routine and non-controversial by the Township Council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Motion to approve the consent agenda by myself.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Mr. Karifi. Roll call, Mr. Karifi?
Yes.
Ms. Grignani?
Yes.
Mr. Musella?
Yes.
Mr. Neglia?
Yes.
Mr. DePiero?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Payroll?
Approval of payroll and bills list. CFO Leonard Ho recommends authorization for payment. 1. Authorize payment of the January 20th, 2023 regular and miscellaneous payroll estimated at $1,650,000. 2. Payroll of bills from voucher list of 1/15/23 through 1/17/23 is $1,052,743.64. Motion to approve the authorization for payment above by myself.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Grignani, seconded by Mr. Neglia. Roll call. Mr. Karifi?
Yes.
Ms. Grignani?
Yes.
Mr. Musella?
Yes.
Mr. Neglia?
Yes.
Mr. DePiero?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, before we adjourn, I have one more item to discuss. As the council knows, that when the council elects the president and vice president of the council, it's a 2-year term, and we've completed 1 year of the 2-year term. But I have a promise that I would resign as president of the council effective January 31st. And I'm doing that now, and I'm making a motion to have Loretta Grignani serve as president in her last year
Second.
on the council.
So we're making a motion for you to resign, Council President?
Well, I resigned. The motion really is to make Loretta president.
So, okay, so then I guess we're gonna nominate her essentially, and then we're voting on her. Okay, so motion made by,
Made by me and seconded
seconded by
by
Mr.
Paul.
Karifi. Roll call, Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Ms. Grignani? You can vote on yourself.
Yes.
Mr. Musella?
Yes.
Mr. Neglia?
Yes.
Mr. DePiero?
Yes.
Congratulations, Council President.
And now the next step is for Loretta to resign as vice president.
I want to take this opportunity to thank my fellow councilman and Councilman DePiero. I resign this position and I look forward to being your president for the remaining months of this year. I will try to do my best. I don't think I can measure up to Mr. DePiero, but I will do my very best to honor his reputation and to do justice to this township and to the residents of Parsippany. Thank you. I resign as vice president.
Nominate me.
And I nominate Michael DePiero as vice president.
Can we get a motion?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Grignani, seconded by Mr. Karifi. Roll call. Mr. Karifi?
Yes.
Ms. Grignani?
Yes.
Mr. Musella?
Yes.
Mr. Neglia?
Yes.
Mr. DePiero?
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you. And the ultimate motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Did you make a motion?
I just did.
Okay. We got a motion by Mr. Musella, seconded by Mr. Karifi. Roll call.
Yes.
Mr. Karifi? Ms.
Yes.
Grignani?
Yes.
Mr. Musella?
Yes.
Mr. Neglia?
Yes.
Mr. DePiero? Okay, have a good night, everyone.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.